Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending whether you're watching us live or you're watching a recording. My name is Tito de Moraes. I'm one of the organizers of the second Global Stop Cyberbullying Telesummit. And I have my two co-authors, Sónia Seixas and Luís Fernandes, who also helped me out on organizing and hosting this telesummit. That as the other sessions, this is already either the 29th or the 30th session. Like the previous ones, this is also sponsored by Google and also by the Portuguese Association.pt that manages the Portuguese domain name system. I'm, as usual, joining you from and talking to you from Rio Tinto in the surrounding areas of Porto in Portugal. And feel free to let us know where you are watching us from. We're broadcasting to Facebook, to YouTube, and to Periscope. So feel free to also leave your comments on the comments on these platforms. A bit about who I am. I'm the co-author together with Sónia Seixas, who will be joining me in a minute, and Luís Fernandes of the book Cyberbullying, a guide for parents and educators, that was published in Portugal in 2016. Before joining us, before writing this book, Sónia Seixas and Luís Fernandes had written Plano Bullying, How to Erase Bullying from Schools, a book targeting teachers, school managers, and the school community at large. And they have also created Say No to Bullying, written Diz Não ao Bullying, Não deixe que te façam mal, which translates in Say No to Bullying, Don't Let Them Hurt You. And this magnificent duo became a trio when we wrote the book on cyberbullying in 2016. After that, I have also written a chapter for a book published by the Council of Europe called Bullying Perspectives, Practice and Insights, written by Janice Richardson, who was also a guest on this event, and also by Elizabeth Milovidov, who was a guest on last year's edition, and Roger Blemeyer, whom we haven't had yet the pleasure to meet and host an event. Today we'll be talking about Parole and the Manifesto of Non-Hostile Communications. We'll have Marianna Marcucci with us. I'll bring her to the screen in a minute, but before that, I'll be bringing Sónia Seixas. She's already joined us. Hi, Sónia. I know that you were running from one place to the other, but you managed to join us.
Yes, this one time.
Good. And you are from Santarém as usual, I guess.
Yes, as usual.
And Carlos Soares is joining us from Lisbon as usual as well. Abílio Carvalho says good night after the time change. It is already night in Vila Nova de Gaia. Same here. I'm just on the other side of the river, but I guess that's in Portugal it's like that. And I guess that in Italy, because they are 1 hour ahead of us, it's even more. As I said, we're going to talk about the Manifesto of Non-Hostile Communication, and we have with us Marianna Marcucci. Hi,
hello.
Marianna.
Hello, good evening from Italy. It's 7 o'clock here.
Okay, 1 hour ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Marianna. Nice
Hello. Nice to meet you, and thank you for inviting me and obviously Parole. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight.
Well, thank you for
Thank
having accepted our invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where in Italy are you connecting, Marianna?
I'm actually in Tuscany, in the south of Tuscany. Yeah, in the south of Tuscany. Yeah, in the countryside, so it's very beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we usually start with a few questions so that people get to know you better, and also us. So I would say, who is Marianna Marcucci?
Yeah, I'm basically a consultant. I work in a digital field. I'm a digital media curator. I create digital strategies to promote and valorize the cultural heritage of every country. And obviously, speaking about communication and the digital, I'm working with this wonderful project of Parole that I will be talking about to you in a minute. And yeah, basically, I started working on the internet like many years ago, like 20 years ago, since the very beginning. And I strongly believe in the power and possibilities of the web in terms of communication and relations and experiences and connections. Yeah.
Good.
That's why I'm an official trainer of Parole. So we try to work to sensibilize against violent languages. But I'm talking to you about the project.
And your background, is it in communications, or is it marketing, or some other field?
Yeah, I have a degree in chemistry, so completely different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started. Sorry.
That's interesting, because you probably get some question. People say in chemistry, but I get also the same question, because my background is in arts. So people wonder, why am I talking about this? Why is this guy talking about internet safety if arts is in his area? But sometimes life takes you by the hand to other unknown roads. And that brings me to another question. How did you get involved with the subject of non-hostile communications?
It's a long story. I started. It's basically about curiosity, because I've changed, from chemistry to the travel industry to the arts and culture, cultural heritage, and then digital. And since the beginning, I have known so many people in a professional way, and even friends using the web and the digital world. But since few years ago, I have realized, and that's why I'm working for Parole. I realized that we need a digital literacy moment to teach kids, obviously, but also to adults, how to communicate in a good way online. So that's why I started working with Parole since the very beginning, because I strongly believe in a good web and in good communication, and it's a virtual world, but it's made by people, by real people.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we just have to train people on how to use these tools.
For good, absolutely.
For good.
I know you have prepared a presentation for us, and I'll bring it to the screen. And just remind our viewers that feel free to post your questions either on Facebook or on YouTube or Periscope, and we'll bring them into the screen. So the floor is yours, Marianna. Feel free to go ahead with your presentation.
Yeah, thank you. It's just, you know, a few images and few slides to
will interrupt you.
Yeah, to help me. Yeah, if you want to interrupt me, just feel free. And if you have questions, if people have questions, please, let's do it, you know, more as more interactive as possible.
Interactive. Absolutely.
Yeah, interactive. Yeah, and yeah, I'm here to talk to you about Parole. And first of all, the thing that I was talking now, I want to start with talking about the beauty of internet, because before, you know, highlighting some ugly part of the internet, obviously, because we are talking about cyberbullying and fake news and etc. So I think the internet is an awesome place, and awesome things happen, but obviously we are talking about people. So for example, Alessandro Maria Montresor is a baby, a toddler, now is grown up, but 2 years ago, his parents were looking for a bone marrow transplant. And they were obviously desperate, and they have the idea to open a Facebook page to ask people to donate and to do the test to donate the bone marrow. And long story short, like hundreds of people just went testing themselves to be able to donate bone marrow. So, and then after that, he found a surgeon in Italy to have the to have cures and medicine, etc. So now is well and safe at home. So just wanted to start before talking about obviously concern, because connections online are the heart and soul, because we are sharing experiences. Social media are virtual places, but we share and we meet real people online. So social media are not guilty per themselves. It depends on how we use these tools, obviously. And obviously, we have some concerns, because we are giving young people a Ferrari, and they don't even know how to drive. So we have to teach them and learn them and prepare them, you know, to use these tools like smartphones and web and social media, because they can use them for good. I'm sure that you have seen these pictures thousands of times. Some kids, you know, these pictures went viral for the wrong reason, because they thought that they were ignoring, you know, the night watch. But it was not like that. They were like completing an assignment given by a teacher. So it obviously depends on how we use all these tools. And we, as boomers, we can't ignore what's happening online.
Can I interrupt you there, Marianna? Can you show us the previous slide?
Yeah, sure.
People on our book we spoke not about this particular example, but other examples, that on the internet everybody is a judge, and they judge based on what they think is the reality, and the reality is just a picture. There is on the internet, there's no before and there is no after, and that can change completely the perception of what really happened. And this picture is perfect to illustrate exactly that, as it illustrates how wrong people were criticizing the youth for not paying attention to the night's watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. It's a huge bias that people are pushed to have on the internet. But if you think about that, even traditional media do that sometimes, you know, just to sell more more newspapers or to have more watches on TV, etc. So yeah, but obviously on social media this bias is amplified, because it reaches millions of people, obviously. We have to understand, obviously, that these things are happening, and we have to know the platform where our children, our kids, our younger are every day. Like, for example, Fortnite. For example, this screenshot is taken by during a game played by Power, a very popular gamer, and it has been watched by more than 5 million people. So we as adults, we have to understand that on Twitch there are a lot of young people. We don't have to ignore obviously TikTok and all the other platforms. These ones are very let's say not very, but they are a bit dangerous, because starting from I.S.C.T.E. and then this crush and then telonym, people can leave anonymous comments, and very often these anonymous comments are violent, are porn based, and even when we talk about like 11 or 12 years old people, so we have to know what's happening. And
we had a guest from India, a 17-year-old guest from India, that explained the problem that in India the anonymous applications for like this, like Ask.fm and a few others that she named, and I made a note, were posing to youth because they were used to cyberbullying. She mentioned Sayatme, Sahara, and Kumi. So those were some applications that I had heard about Sahara, but not the other two. And I hadn't heard from this crush and telonym either. And then anonymous apps are really dangerous.
Sahara just came for a little bit in Italy too, and now telonym is the most popular, even here. They're very dangerous because
popular.
You know, not every they're very popular, and obviously not everybody can handle sentences, anonymous sentences. Celebrities are more, let's say, trained, in receiving bad comments, because they are self-confident. Not always, but obviously. But if you receive an anonymous content, you perceive it like, what have I, what have I done to I'm not worth
to deserve this.
About that. Yeah, and obviously young people are trying to share a lot of their content, their private content, because obviously they fear this particular sensation of missing out something. All the smartphones and the web works like we are playing with slot machines. So every new content is like a prize, So we are forced to play and play and play, just feeling that we miss something if you don't do that. If we don't post something for one day and we don't receive likes and comments for one day, we feel bad, because we don't have this recognition, we don't have prizes, we don't have dopamine, and unfortunately the fear of missing out sometimes leads to missing your life. So missing it's very dangerous, because it leads to deadly games like I don't know in Portugal what's it called, but in Italy, for example, it's called Blackout Challenge. It's like a choking game. So they try to choke themselves to get high, like a drug.
Game,
the choking game. So and we have to know the slang young people uses to define these games, obviously, and it's very important because, for example, here I have few names they use, like choke out or 5 minutes of heaven, for example. So sometimes they talk about a sleeping game. It doesn't seem so dangerous if you read it, you know, but we just have to.
Actually, I did some research on these types of challenges, and I identified over over 4 dozens different types of challenges that can be dangerous, as they can result in harm, and in the most extreme cases, they can result in death. I was in Brazil and met a guy whose son had died as a result of a choking game. And he founded Instituto de Me Cuida. And he's devoting his life to raise the awareness of parents to these types of challenges, because they can really be harmful.
Yeah, it's a silent killer, you know, because you realize it when it's too late, because it's cool for guys, you know, to participate, and children don't talk to the parents about these things, so it's very it's very, very dangerous. And
there was a recent event in Italy, at least that was reported in Portuguese news, that an 11-year-old killed himself as a result of a challenge similar to the blue whale that is called something Galindo. No, I don't. I tried to investigate that case, and ended up in a dead alley, because media were quoting other media, and I couldn't get to the source of the real information. Do you know if that story is true or not?
Actually, this guy killed himself, and I saw few reports highlighting one WhatsApp chat from the mom of this guy, warning other moms about this Galindo, this challenge. It was about like fake Disney. No, it was not fake Disney. It was they took a picture from a comedian, made up as one Disney character, and they use it to as the leader
create a challenge similar to blue whale challenge. Around it.
Few steps, etc. But I must say that it's the only case reported about that game. So I'm not sure about other. I have no news and reports about other children, other guys committing suicide about that. So I don't know, but
Sorry for interrupting.
No, absolutely, it's better like that. And this is very interesting because we don't realize that the internet that we use every day, it's only the 4% of the real internet. So obviously it exists, the deep web, but above all the dark web, where you can find weapons, drugs, child trafficking, and it's a real thing. It's, there are things happening. People are buying drugs and children and weapons online. So obviously we don't have to go there, and there's the police who is reporting everything, but we have to know that the internet that we use every day, it's not the whole internet that we can access. And obviously, and unfortunately, on the web, people hate other people. And I'm going through this, but I'm going quickly. It's just to show you a few tweets that we have found about people hating other people with obviously a violent language. And we have obviously, we wanted to do something about that. We asked ourselves, like almost 3 years ago, so what? What can we do to improve online communication, and not only online communication, but what can we do to improve communication between people? And that's why Parole was born, a social project against the use of violent and hostile language. And that's why we wanted to change, the world and the internet in which we want to live. That's why we have created the Manifesto of Parole. And I'm showing you now the manifesto and few examples for every point of the manifesto. It's a charter of 10 principles, and with the aim of reducing and controlling and fighting against negative language online, but not only. We want to fight the spread of fake news, revenge porn, cyberbullying. So we want to create, to help create a better internet for everyone. So ethic and better internet for everyone. And that's the manifesto of the non-hostile communication with the 10 principles. And this is the idea from we started, and we wanted to define few points to help people understand from one side what's happening online, and on the other side what they can do every day, every minute to create a better internet. Because it's not a law that creates a better internet. Obviously, it's important, and in Italy we have quite a good law about cyberbullying. But each individual can do every day something to create a better internet. It's on us. So our manifesto was translated into 31 languages. So if you're curious about it, you can go on our website, parolestili.it, and you can find all the translations, even in Arabic and in Hindi, and in emoji too. So, and we have applied, sorry? In emoji, yeah.
In emoji language, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in emoji, so nice. You have to see it because it's so nice.
Yeah,
we have done it in collaboration with
check that one out.
Yeah, yeah. And we have applied the manifesto to 7 sectors.
Are the translations also available for the 7 sectors, or just the general one?
Just the general one, yeah, the general one, the general manifesto. But we are working on all the translations. Yeah, in business, education, politics, obviously, public administration, and we have done a lot of events, even online, obviously, this year to present the manifesto and to present all the translations and the application, of the manifesto. And we have a lot of videos too in online, so if people are curious, they can go and watch a few videos. I want to show you just few examples of every point of the manifesto, just to understand how we have worked, and from the start of the project. And the first point of the manifesto is virtual is real. On the internet, I only write or say what I would dare to say in person. Because often people share things online thinking that nobody is watching them. So I don't see a person in front of me, but just a screen. So I don't know anything about this person. So I don't know his or her age. I don't know his or her religion. So I'm pushed to think that it's not real. It's just virtual. And even if I'm speaking, if I'm talking in a violent way, I'm pushed to think that, okay, I'm just joking. Don't worry, I will delete it. But if you say a thing and it reaches someone, you can't delete the bad feeling, the bad sensation that you have caused. You know, and for example, this is a flame started a few days ago against Billie Eilish. She went out of her home wearing a tank top and a short, but usually she wears baggy clothes because she wants to highlight the talent of women and not just the body of women. So she wants to be judged by her talent and not, you know, the shapes of her body. And one guy just wrote that Billie Eilish has developed a mid-30s wine mom body. Now, Billie Eilish is an 18 years old young lady. So I don't think that this guy should wouldn't have the courage to say to an 18 years old lady the same thing in person, even because she's a celebrity too. So yeah, so we have to understand that virtual is real. And if I dare to say something online, I have to have the same courage to say it in person. And the second point is what sorry.
Can I interrupt you there? Even there are some words that even if you have the courage to say them in person, you shouldn't, because they are hurtful and they can hurt other people. So it makes all the sense when you say that it's not virtual, it's real. So things we're hurting people in real life, you know, not some character. We have a question here from Abílio Carvalho. He's asking, the reality of bullying in Italy, what state is it in? Does it exist or is it controlled?
We have a pretty new law about cyberbullying in Italy. That it's a quite good law that help children to. The first people who signed who promote this law was the teacher of Carolina Picchio, one young lady who committed suicide after having received tons and tons of violent comments online after a video was posted online. And it's the first law in Europe, the one that we have here in Italy, for the prevention of cyberbullying. And the important thing is that it's not a law of repression, but it's a law of prevention. So yeah, because the law doesn't identify a crime, because the we don't need to create a crime because we have it. We have in Italy a crime for stalking, and we have a crime for black mailing. So it is a good law because it identifies some tools that school and students and children and workers can use to fight cyberbullying. For example, for children over 14 years old, if the child is a victim of cyberbullying, he has the possibility to report the content of the website or social media, and the manager of the social media have to delete everything within 48 hours. So if it does not delete the content, the guarantor for the protection of privacy will do it. So it's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what, it's a point of start.
Does the law also, does the law also include educational approaches, for instance, making it mandatory to approach these subjects in school?
Not yet, no, but the Ministry of Education is doing collaboration with also with private associations to promote education in this field. We have just started a project with few worksheets in collaboration with the MUR, and they are all the worksheets are on our website. You can download them and use them in school about civic education, because the subject was just reintroduced in Italy as a subject. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
and
on. Feel free to continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second point of the manifesto is you are what you communicate. It's very important because all the words that I choose to use define me, define who I am, and all the words that I use represent me. So it's very important that we choose carefully the words we use every day, because the key word is identity. The words that we use define who we are, and the words we use online are like actions, because virtual is real. So we have to understand how other people recognize us through the words that we use every day. And this is very particularly important when we talk about our online reputation. The 44% of recruiters says that they didn't have hired someone based on their reputation online, based on the content they have posted online, like pictures or racist comments online or inappropriate contents online. So we have to choose carefully what we say online. And even people got fired after having written offensive things online. So our words have also consequences on our job and on our lives. It's not it's not just virtual. This is a guy who have posted these pictures during his job at the Taco Bell, and he got fired. And the next point of the manifesto is words shape the way I think. And I take all the time I need to express my views, and obviously in the best possible way, because it's a very dangerous concern, a very big concern about functional illiteracy. If you see the percentage in Italy, it's like awful. 50% of all adults in Italy are functional illiterate. It means that they can write, they can read a text, but they don't understand the meaning of this text. So if you put this in a discussion, in a debate, you understand that it's very dangerous, because if I say something and you don't understand what I'm saying, or you misunderstand what I have written, it's very dangerous. So we have to work, we absolutely have to work on the skills of people, because what I say and what my audience understands, it could be very far in some ways. And if I'm speaking to functional illiterate, you know. The other point of the manifesto, I want to just to show you just a bit of every point. So
no, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
If I'm going too, if I'm going too far, no one can always be right, and nor I am. I listen with an honest and open-minded attitude to try to understand what other people are saying. Because on the internet, on the web, there's a very magic thing called filter bubble, and we are all inside our filter bubble. It's an effect given obviously by the web algorithm and web searches that just close each of us in our like-minded people ambient. So we are exposed every day to news and things that we agree with. And yeah, because obviously all the web searches and the algorithm just give us things to that they think we will like. And this thing is very important because from 2010 to 2015, the thresholds of attention of people, the average, obviously, threshold attention of people just fall down to 8 seconds. So we are used to take all the news and information that we got online and take them for granted immediately. The other point of the manifesto is words are bridges.
We tend just to read the headlines and the lead of the news.
The
and
titles.
Most of the times we don't need the full text, and we forget that that many of the titles are written to capture your attention. So everything that is scandalous is to get your attention, and sometimes the text of the news contradicts the title.
Absolutely, it's called clickbaiting. It's
exactly
an awful, it's an awful method used by media to attract people.
Yep.
Yeah, look what's happening here to, George Clooney, and he's just going to have breakfast with someone at the bar. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's an awful, it's an awful, method. Yeah. And words are bridges, because I choose words to understand, to make myself understood, and get close to others. So have to choose the right words to get close to people and to develop empathy with other people. And it's very difficult because we are behind the screen. We don't really develop empathy behind the screen, And just a small example. I don't know if you have heard about this. It's a commercial, now deleted, by Dolce & Gabbana. They have shooted few videos with a Chinese lady eating Italian food, like a cannolo, like in this picture, and a pizza with the sticks. And in this video, a voice just asked the lady, "Is it too big for you?" So this this led to the cancellation of $1 million performance by Dolce & Gabbana in China, because they used to they have offended, all the Chinese people, and later on, Stefano Gabbana have used a very rude and violent language, speaking to a Chinese mediator, and obviously it didn't end it very well. On the opposite side, I want to show you this video that is wonderful, about a company who has used the words as bridges, just to go and to give a very good message to people. I'll show you.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
What she says is
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie.
Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men. For everyone. Oh, shit.
and small.
I am strong.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
I particularly like this one because it's a company doing something different, and they have been very criticized for that. Many men thought that this is an attack to masculinity, you know. So because boys will be boys, you know, so it's normal to do something. So the children are watching us, so we have to give them a good example. Yeah. And this is, I think this is the most sad, if I can say, point of the manifesto, because words have consequences, and I'm aware that what I say or what I write could have consequences, small or serious. And unfortunately, few times the consequences are the death of some young people, and not only young people. We have too many news about death of young people as a consequences of cyberbullying. This is a lady talking about her daughter, Nicole, 21 years old. But adults, journalists, creating a Facebook group, a Facebook chat to cyberbullying, like French co-workers. And this is from a very popular newspaper in France, Libération. Obviously, Libération has suspended all the journalists. And we are speaking about revenge porn too. So many of the consequences of stalking online leads to a sort of revenge, posting porn pictures about about ex-girlfriends most of the time. And in this case, this is Ruth, is an adult, and her ex-boyfriend, ex-partner just posted online few videos and pictures of her during their relationships. And this leads to a complete devastation of the life of the victim, because they feel they have done something wrong and they didn't. Because if I'm with a guy or with a girl and I shoot a video or some, very private pictures, it's not my fault if you post them online. But unfortunately, the blame victim is a thing nowadays. And I want to show just the last video.
I believe you had a very, very proeminent case in Italy about a lady in her early 30s, I believe, that was that committed suicide as a result of being constantly abused online because her images were going around on the internet. I'm trying to remember the name, but it escapes me.
Yeah, we have had a very sad story about Carolina Picchio, a 16 years old lady. The teacher of Carolina Picchio is the lady who has promoted the law against cyberbullying. Carolina went to a party at her friend's house, so a very protected environment with her friends. She drank a little bit too much, like who didn't at 16 years old, and she felt asleep. And her friends have the nice idea of miming some sexual movement on her, just miming some sexual movements on her, shooting a video and posting the video online. The next day, she has received hundreds of comments and thousands of likes, calling her like a slut, calling her obviously, blaming the victim. I think this is the worst thing that happened after cyberbullying, blaming the victim. And she hasn't had the force to handle all this violence, and she committed suicide at 16 years old. Can you imagine if a completely anonymous person just telling you, why don't you kill yourself? Nobody wants you, nobody loves you. It's too much for everybody. I can only
even
imagine.
For an adult.
Even for an adult, even for an adult. We have had another lady, I think that's the one you have mentioned, who committed suicide after his ex-friends and boyfriend posted a video of her having some sexual thing. She committed suicide, like, I think it's 3 years ago now. And we have had too many people, too many women, but not only women, obviously. And
90% are women.
That's why we have to share with care text and images only after having read them, assessed it, and obviously understood them. Sharing is caring is one of the most important principle, because the key word here is fake news. The goal of the fake news are to misinform, and they appeal to the gut instincts of the people. In Italy, we say parlare alla pancia. Translated, it's talk to the belly of people. Translated. They appeal to the instinctive desires of people. They are easy to be understood, obviously, excessively simplified most of the times, because we have 8 seconds, so we have to capture the news, have to capture people. The numbers are incredible. 22 million total shares of the news about the COVID in the latest times are fake news. Like, for example, that you can drink like lemon and hot water to cure the COVID or things like that. And we have to be very careful in sharing, even if sometimes we think that the news is like funny. Oh, I'm not hurting anyone because I'm sharing like a fun news about something. Who cares if it's not real? Everybody cares, because people are making money on fake news, and this is absolutely a shame. Especially if we think about, if you are talking about things like COVID and a pandemic and people who are dying about this illness. So, and people are making money, misinterpreting important information.
And can I interrupt you there?
Sure.
We have a comment here from Mimi Toro. She says, "Thank you for this presentation. I believe that another danger of the misuse of social media is the constant exposure of a seemingly perfect life. This can also put an extra pressure in adolescents to appear cool, even if it means humiliating others. Is this a contradiction? We need to choose kind words in our interactions and maybe also a more realistic use of social media in general. Is this possible?"
Absolutely. Thank you. It's a very wonderful question. It's absolutely possible. There's an account of a lady who I'm following who is doing exactly this, fighting body shaming. She's showing women and men, obviously, how some influencers and some people are faking their images online, just showing how you can use your pose, how you can use Photoshop, or how you can use the light to fake your actual appearance. Body images, yeah. It's not really a contradiction. I think that the more we talk about these issues, the more we talk about being nice to people, will lead to a more real web, because people have to understand that being real online, it's more important than being liked. That's why I try not to post myself with too many filters. I don't use filters when I post pictures of myself. And I think if each of us does the same thing, at the end, we will find more real pictures of people than the fake pictures. So it's on us. If I see my wrinkle.
There's also another thing with all the filters and whatnot, is people start looking, everybody looks alike.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no individuality, because they all use the same filters. Their face becomes shaped and light the same way, and you lose individuality, I think.
Absolutely. And if you see all the celebrities that have gained popularity the most are among young people, are the one more real, like Billie Eilish, for example. And there are a lot of influencers nowadays who are working on these issues, and we have to involve them more and more, because the more we talk about these issues, the more it will become normal to be normal online, to be normal people. It's cool to be normal. Yeah. And I'm going to. No, absolutely. Thank you for the questions. It's nice to to connect with people and to share ideas and opinions. Absolutely. And you obviously have heard about the Pizzagate, and the QAnon conspiracy theory, etc. So we have to understand that these things are happening, and some platforms are working on trying to stop the spreading of fake news online. For example, WhatsApp, you have noticed, obviously, that you can't now forward the same message in a bulk way. So WhatsApp just stop the forwarding, the bulk forwarding of messages to trying to to stop the spreading of fake news. And then sorry.
5 at a time. You can only send 5, up to 5 people, and then you have to repeat the process if you want to send to more.
Yeah, exactly. And it highlights the thing that message was forwarded many and many times. Yeah. So it helps you understand that probably that messages have been forwarded too many times, and it's time to stop to stop the chain, And the last 2 points of the manifesto, its ideas can be discussed, but people must be respected. So,
this is very good.
Yeah, those I can discuss with you. I can disagree with you, but have to respect you and your point of views. You're not my enemies. You are just a person who disagree with me, and we can both grow, sharing our absolutely different opinions. So it's, the keyword is discussion. If we are confident that our opinions are right, we should not be afraid to compare them with different opinions. Maybe we can learn something, maybe they can learn something, but it's a situation where everybody wins something in knowledge, in understanding. Absolutely. A tweet like that, it's just not understanding that people maybe didn't have the same possibility of me in terms of studying, probably, so offending people because they are ignorant in something, it's not respecting people. And obviously, because an insult is not an argument, so even if you want to support my point of view, I don't accept that you offend other people to support me. And this is very important. This is very important. If we think about politics discussion, this is very important. And the key word is hate speech. So abusive speech or writing, obviously, because we are talking about writing online against a particular group. Most of the times about race, religion, sexual orientation, or gender. I'm showing just few examples against Jews, thinking that another Holocaust is needed, or the Islam kill Jews, etc. So people are very violent sometimes when they think that their religion or their sexual orientation or their gender must prevail on other people. And this is a very beautiful project. It's like a love warrior online, because they fight speech with love. Mina Denner is the founder of the organization. And every time she found something negative or an abusive comment or a violent comment, she posts a love comment online just to fight this comment. So it's just, replacing hate speech with love. And it's a very nice thing. It's like, I think that we can do even ourselves every day. Absolutely. And sometimes is the silence. If it's better to keep quiet, I have to keep quiet. So silence says something too. And there's a very nice sentence by Alda Merini, an Italian poet, that says, I like those who carefully choose words not to say sometimes. So thank you very much for having me.
Very good, very good.
And thank you is one of the most important words
thank you.
Every day. I don't know if you have
actually
any... sorry.
We'll see if anyone has questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm sure Sónia will have some either a question or a comment.
I don't have a question, but the last principle you show, it makes me remind Bambi, the Bambi film with the rabbit and the parents of the rabbit. They saw, if you don't have nothing pleasant to say, just keep your mouth shut. So I think it's the same principle in life, in present life, and I think it's the same principle in virtual life. So it was very good to hear all your presentation, and some of the principles make me think and reflect, and I couldn't choose, but I think they are all in general very important, and they play a great role in our communication guidelines, if you can say so. And I'm going to see that Mina Dennert, with their comments of love to fight back the hate speech. I think it's a very interesting way of intervene. I think we could intervene in that same way. And but I always get a bit concerned because the general tendency of blaming the victim, as you show in your presentation, and it's transversal in other presentations. It's a very small number of people who defend them, and the most part they tend to blame even more the victim.
Absolutely.
What is that human? I guess so. It's something that bothers me too much.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
why
Tito,
I
if
think.
you want to say something.
No, yeah,
Yes,
I
Marianna,
just want
say
to
it.
say that that's very important to be part of the changing of the internet in a good way, because when every time we see something bad happening online, we can do something. If I see, for example, if I'm in a chat, if I'm on WhatsApp on a chat, and I see something or someone offending other people, or just making fun on other people or online, I can just go and help him or her, not feeling alone. I think that's that's a very easy and simple thing that we can do to help other people and to help avoid the blaming of the victim, because we are going to help the victim and not fighting with the aggressor. That's very important. We have to be on the side of the victim.
Of the victim,
Absolutely.
precisely. Yes.
Marianna, I really enjoyed the principles for non-hostile communication, and I think we need to talk, because we perhaps can work together in order to translate them to Portuguese and help them to promote them to Portuguese-speaking audiences. As European countries, we have elections every now and then. So it's important to have politicians who set sometimes some bad examples, so that they set the good examples. We also have some interesting penetration in school settings. So we'll keep in touch to see how we can promote the non-hostile communication to Portuguese-speaking audiences. It was really interesting to hear your presentation. I'm going to ask you if you can leave us with some final comment, tip, recommendation. But before that, give me 1 minute or two to let our viewers see what we still have of sessions until the end of the week, and I'll come back to you in a minute or two.
Yeah.
Tonight at 9:30 p.m. Portuguese time, we'll have our friend Pedro Ventura talking about growing up without aggression, or an adolescence without aggression. Pedro has a doctorate degree on cyberbullying, so it will be interesting to hear what he has to say. And tomorrow at lunchtime, Portuguese time, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., we'll have Donna Cross from Australia with a very interesting presentation. If it's about me, why do it without me? Genuine student engagement in school cyberbullying education. I'm really curious, and one of the things that I've realized is that we didn't get enough youth to speak on this event. We only had a 17-year-old from India, and we need to have more youth speaking. And so next year we'll have more slots for youth. On the same day, on the following day, on the 29th, at dinner time, 9:30 p.m., we'll have Philippe Cohen, founder of respectzone.org, speaking on how to make your online space respect by design. He'll also be talking around the topic of hate speech. So I'm also looking forward to hear him. And then Friday, we'll have Teresa Marques. She's a psychologist, and she'll be talking about hate on social media, its emotional impact, and how to deal with haters and to prevent being affected by haters on social media. And finally, on Saturday, on the 31st, we'll have our final event at 9:30 p.m. Lisbon time, where the three of us, me, Sónia, and Luís, will discuss the highlights of this 1 month long event. We had 35 sessions with 38 speakers from all continents, 15 countries. And we'll make also some considerations regarding future initiatives. And this is it. Marianna, we're already 1 hour 13, so we're already taking over some additional time from your time. We thank you for that. And
Don't worry.
if you leave us with your final comment or recommendation or tip, it would be great.
I think that the most important thing is talking about these things every day, not having fear, to share with children, with adults, all the things that are happening, and not being afraid of of feeling ignorant about things, because we are not alone, and we have to fight these things all together. And you are not alone if your experiences cyberbullying or you are a victim of some of this violent language and hate speech. You're not alone, and you can talk to people about that, because there are a lot of associations, organizations who are working on these issues. So asking for help is really the first thing. And yeah, and we are continuous studying about these subjects. We continue we are in a continued discovering of new things and new projects and new future possibility on how to fight this. So yeah, I think you're not alone, and we are here to help in some ways.
Marianna,
and thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Thank you so much, Marianna, for having accepted our invitation. Thank you.
Okay, so for all those that are on the other side of the screen, see you later at 9:30 Portuguese time, and we'll close with the video that Marianna has shown. I think it's a good way to end, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Marianna.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Grazie.
Ciao. Ciao. Grazie.
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 Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men